So recently I was leading a discussion type group with some brand new homeschool moms and new-ish homeschool moms in my area. And someone said something along the lines of, there is so much homeschool advice out there when you Google, how do you know what to trust? Or there's so much conflicting advice. How do you handle that? And so we got into this big discussion about homeschool advice, and kind of segued into blogs and social media influence and influencers and all of that. But we circled back around. Someone said, again, not exact quote, as a mom who's been doing this for a long time, what is the one thing that you would say applies to everyone? If you're new here, welcome. I'm Tricia, and I'm a homeschooling mom with 3 kids, and this is our 13th year of homeschool. And over the past 13 years, I've seen a lot change in the homeschool world, drastically. I have seen a lot of bloggers come and go. I've read a lot of homeschool advice. I've talked to a lot of homeschool moms. And in that time, I've always taken the stance that there's nothing that's the perfect key for every family. But the advice I'm going to share with you today, I do believe applies to everybody. My biggest piece of homeschool advice is to not discount the power you have to set the tone and the attitudes each day, each month, each year. That's a lot of power. But the mindset that you take each day and throughout each day and the year, it has the power to make or break your homeschool. I do want to throw in the caveat that I know that there are always extenuating circumstances. There are challenges for different kids, your own challenges, life stuff. I'm not discounting any of it. However, a little caveat. One day you wake up and you slept horribly and you woke up to a monstrous to-do list. And that feeling of overwhelm seeps into your kids. Math was hard for you and you don't understand it and you're grumpy about it. Kids can pick up on that. And just for a moment, I have a delicious cup of coffee with foamed oat milk, and I put cinnamon in the oat milk when I warmed it up and then foamed it. It has been my favorite treat lately. So that's what I'm drinking. But you can use your influence in a lot of other ways too. Tell your kids that you grew up thinking science was boring, but you know it isn't. And then find ways for you and your kids to enjoy it. Or history. If math was frustrating for you as a kid or as an adult, as the case for many of us, you have the power to help your kids learn it better than you did, so that they aren't frustrated. You can work through something like Khan Academy, start at 1st grade level and work through it yourself. Or find other math books. The math books that you order for your kids, order them a little earlier so you can work through them. If your kids are having a rough morning, you can help them reset the day. I think I have a video about ways that I have reset, or a blog post, something. I think it's a video. I'll try to link it. If you're having a bad day, you can reset yourself. You can help your kids develop better routines and habits so that misplaced books are less likely to happen. And as I say, it won't happen because there's no guarantee of that. But I don't know about you guys. When I was young, the general attitude, not just in my home, but culturally, was that you just did it. You just did what needed done. Well, I wasn't a kid who that made sense. When I was done with a book, it wasn't, yes, it makes sense to go put it back on the bookshelf or the library book bag, but that's not what happened. But as an adult, I can help my kiddos develop those kind of habits. I can teach them better ways to do things so that they don't have those frustrations that I still have as a 45-year-old. And when they've lost that book, in the moment, or they're frustrated with spelling in the moment, you can influence what happens next. You can yell at them or be frustrated and visibly show that, or you can help them problem solve. You can help them to relax. You can help them to visualize when the last time they had that item was and what they might have done. You can help them find different ways to practice spelling or whatever. And in that moment, that very moment, we've got control over our own emotions and our own face. And if kids see that you're willing to help them problem solve whatever the situation is and not yell, then they know that we're that kind of person and that they're that kind of a kid. And I know that's easier said than done. Believe me. I know. But I also know the power that happens when we give a hug when they're frustrated with a subject, or let them just have a time to feel whatever they're feeling. When 5 years down the road, you watch them problem solve, or you watch them close their eyes and try to visualize where they had that. Or you watch them learning to reset or resetting their own bad day. I know the power of that too. Because with a senior, I'm seeing that. And that is not at all to say that I haven't made some major mistakes. Not at all to say that I always keep my temper in check or any of that. But I've seen the payoff. But the overall tone of your days and of your homeschool, that's on you. What that looks like is totally different for every home. Some homes are very serious, quiet, studious, strict, and that's fine. If that's your home, you're probably not watching me though. That's not me. But maybe it is, and if so, I'm glad you're here. Is your home, is the overall tone you want to be one of enchantment and wonder and magical feelings? You're probably not watching my channel either. That's not me. I would love for that to be me more, but it's not. You're probably watching something like Pepper and Pine or some other Waldorf Montessori-ish type of home, unschool, whatever. Is your home one of casual and laughter and go with the flow? Well, that's me. So that may be more my audience. Whatever it is, you have that choice to set that tone. When your kids are adults, starting a new family, and they think about their childhood, and of course their homeschool years will come to mind, what feelings do you want invoked for them as they think about what they will do with their homes and their children. When they're 60 and you are long out of this life, and they're telling their grandkids, when they're 70, they're telling their grandkids about their childhood. How do you want them to feel? Yes, I'm talking the long game here. What is that overall tone that you want for your home? And how can you set that this year? When you have that idea that this is what I want, then that guides your homeschool. It guides your days, it guides your curriculum, it guides what activities you choose to do, it guides your attitude. If you want to know what other advice I've shared over the years, click on the video playlist over on screen, and I'll see you in the next video.